People who don't like me don't stop my praise. The enemy is doing the absolute best he can to discourage you and to whip you to make you feel like you're not gonna make it to your next. Do I have a witness in here? Because you don't need to be around somebody that's intimidated about your future. You don't need to be sitting by somebody that's jealous of what God's getting ready to do. If you are discouraged, that yoke tonight has been broken. I come tonight with the prophetic declaration that there is nothing that shall be able to stop you from getting to the place that God has ordained for you to be. Whatever is standing before you, it has no power. Tell them you are unstoppable. You're unstoppable. You're unstoppable.
Right, Unstoppable family, here we go. Tonight we are up and running. Good night. How is everybody doing tonight? We're we're ready for go. All right, make sure that as soon as you click on, you hit that like button. All right, hit the share button as well. That is very much important so that we can get some more persons tuning in on the stream tonight. All right, big up to everybody who there, of course. You know, you being here is very much appreciated. All right. Princess Sher said Unstoppable me didn't miss here, you know. Well, much love to you, Princess, of course. Big up to all of the people over there tuning in on Facebook tonight as well. Thanks to everybody who is tuning in now. I must apologize to my Facebook crew. I have not been streaming to you guys for quite a while, but not to worry, me there we do not again tonight, and we're not gonna get to partake in tonight's program. All right. Now, as me say, once you're there right now, that simply means you need to share out the show. Whether you're there on Facebook or YouTube crew, still share it over there on Facebook to every single group you are in. And Facebook crew do the same. Just share it out to the groups. Share it to your profile. Share it to your page and invite a few persons over. And remember, if you send out the stream to at least one WhatsApp contact tonight, that goes a very far way. All right, so share out the stream and let's get it going. Now, I have a very interesting topic tonight, as you can see from the title. This one here tonight is a very interesting one, family. It a go have I say, boy, me I tell you, some people, you see. Now, I have the guest on the line, and she is hot up and ready to share this one. And she nice and vibrant too. One of them guests there, yeah, man. She nice and vibrant. So we're going to enjoy this one tonight. But of course, you know, I have to pay the credits to the people who allow this to happen before I introduce the guest. All right? Now, I keep on telling you about Slam IPTV services, right? The reason why I can't family, now I'm sure someone hear a few of these phrases at some point. It's all in your head. We can make the pain go away. Here, just take this pill. Or just watch it for a little while, man. Maybe we stop. But guess what? If you don't want guesswork, if buts are maybes, then McLaren's age reversing wellness center. All right, so we're having some audio difficulties there. Hopefully everybody can still hear me. If you can hear me in the comment section, let me know so we're good. All right, and we can get into it with the guest tonight while we start out the audio. All right, Carla, are you with me? Can you still hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, perfectly. All right, so family, listen, I'm going to introduce the guest to the program right now, but remember the rules of the platform. You are never allowed to be disrespectful. You are never allowed to call my guest outside her name like fool, dunce, idiot, jackass, yamid, or anything of the sort, or else you will be blocked, all right, by either me or one of my moderators on the program. All right. You are, however, free to share your opinion as long as you keep it respectful. That's the only thing I ask for right here on the platform. All right, Marissa, thank you so much. I love the color of the shirt too. You know, Marissa says I'm looking nice tonight. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that super chat, Marissa. All right, Carla, let's get into it. I know you have a very interesting one that you want to share with us tonight. I'm going to give you the show, right? It's yours right now. Now, 30 minutes within the program, I'm going to give you a water break, of course, and then you could come right back afterwards and get into it, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Go right ahead.
Good night. Good night, everyone. I think I'm actually nervous. Yes, I thought I wouldn't, but I actually am. Okay. So, my story goes like this. It's like growing up as a young girl, we grew up very poor. So I remember going to high school and I used to get out of school every afternoon and I used to go to work. I used to work in like Woolworth, and I remember that every afternoon I got out of school at 12 and I had to get to work by like 12:15, which I really enjoyed. I loved it because I was doing it along with one of my other friends from school. So it, that was like about 10th or 11th grade. And it was time to graduate from high school. But but when I was growing up, I was a very bright girl. But because I had to do, so much little things, it's like it stopped me from really, studying and really doing what I really wanted to do. So, but I know I always wanted to become a teacher. So I remember when I got out of high school, I that day when you're graduating, it starts to hit home that, hey, tomorrow morning you won't be going to school, or when school opens in September, you won't be going to school. So I remember in August of that year, after I left school, we graduated in July. And I remember like in September, I went to one of the basic schools in my area and I went to the principal and I asked her if she had any space for a teacher. And she said, no, the only space she had was, somebody to work to cook lunch for the kids. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I remember every day I got up and I went out to work. Nobody knew what I was doing because I used to dress up nicely and go to work, and I cooked. And probably about 2 or 3 months into keep on going, one of the teachers left. So the principal asked me if I could take over the classroom, and I told her yes, I would. And I remember those days I was teaching 3-year-olds under a tree outside, and when it rained, we went on the veranda. So, it was really, really an experience. But during that time, when I left high school, I left with like all my SSCs, and I left with probably like 1 CXC, but I didn't get math, I didn't get English, and those were critical subjects that I really had to get. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to evening class and I'm going to do them. So I'm working, going to evening classes, and I was like about 18, going on 19, and I got pregnant. So I got pregnant with my son. And I remember going to evening classes. When I was supposed to take my exam, I decided that I wasn't going to go because I was pregnant and I was feeling sick. But anyway, I went. I did my exam. I remember at one point I felt sick in the exam room, and the teacher told me that I could sit by the doorway and do my thing. And I did. So when it was time to collect the results, I'm like, I'm not collecting them because I did not pass a thing. And I had a friend and I asked her if she could collect them for me. And she did. And I even asked her, can you please open it because I don't want to see them. And when she opened them, I passed them. So, that was like a little light turned on right there. And then I had my son and he was there. So when he became 2, I decided that I was going to go to college. So I applied to 2 colleges, to 2 teachers' colleges, and I got accepted. I got accepted in 1. So I went to college. I spent 3 years. I got my diploma. And before I did all that, I had my son, and when my son was like about 8 months old, um, his father and I, we were going on and going on. We didn't live together, but I used to go to his house and he used to come to my house. And I remember he was a cheater, really big cheater. I remember even when I was pregnant with my son, he had this girlfriend, and like I would want him to take me home in the afternoon, in the night when I'm coming from classes. And if he saw that girl, I had to walk and he took her home. So it was like a mess. So anyway, after I had my son, we were still talking. I go to his house, you come to my house and all of that. So until I realized that it's like, it's not going to work, but I was like still trying to make it work. And then one day, I remember he came to my house one morning and he said to me, you know, at this point, I was still in that little basic school teaching. And he said to me one morning when he came to my house, he was like, don't go to work today. Don't even go to work today. I'm like, why am I not supposed to go to work today? He's like, well, go to work. Anything you get, take it. I'm like, I don't really understand what's going on. So anyway, I got dressed, and he did that right in front of my grandmother. So I remember I got dressed and I went to work. And when I was at work the day, I remember he I remember seeing this young girl sitting outside on the steps of the church. But it was so strange because it was a church school. Nobody normally like come and sit on the church steps there during the days. So at that time, we used to get bun and milk. So I went out. I was supposed to go out to collect the bun and milk from the truck. And I remember walking out, and I remember the principal. I think the principal was coming behind me, and the other lady who cooks in the kitchen. And I remember, but they were watching this girl because it's just not usual for somebody to be sitting there. And I remember while I was walking out, she jumped, she got up off the steps. And when she got up off the steps, she dipped her hand in her bag. And when she dipped her hand in her bag, she came up with something. And I saw when the principal grabbed onto her hand. And when the principal grabbed onto her hand, I realized it was an ice pick. She had an ice pick in her hand, and she was heading straight for my chest with that ice pick. You know, at that time, my son was like 8 months old. And I'm like, what is this? And then she started cursing. So my principal was like trying to find out from her, what is the problem? What is this? What did she do to you? What do you want from her? And she was telling my principal that I came to her house, same house that my baby father is, that I went. She said she lived there and I came there and I tore her clothes up and all of those little stuff, you know. And I remember the principal told her that she had to leave, and she walked her out through the gate. And that girl, I remember school began at 8:30 in the mornings and school dismissed at 3 o'clock. And I remember that girl sitting at that school gate across the street all day, all day waiting for me. And I remember the afternoon when school was dismissed, and I normally go out and I put kids on taxi. And that girl waited until I put some children on the taxi, and that girl came across the street and she grabbed me. And a man was coming on same time. I remember, and when the man saw her grabbing me, he ran up and he grabbed her. And I tell you, that man had on a piece of shoes on his foot and it dropped off. And I take that piece of shoes and I gave her some good licks with it. And it so happened that the man let her go. And, you know, she went across the street and she went her way. So I decided that, you know what, at 8 months old, my son is 8 months old. And if my baby father would want me to lose my life at 8 months old for a person who he doesn't have a child with, no, I'm not going to do it. So, you know, I was there. I wanted this man to like stop coming to my house and whatever.
So let me
So
ask
he
you
wouldn't
this
stop. He
question
kept
first,
on.
though. So
Mhm.
this young lady that came at you with the ice pick, is the first time you ever seeing her when she came at you that day?
First time I've ever seen her. I don't know her. I don't know her. It's
And
so strange though, because I don't know her, but it's strange because that very school that I taught, there was my baby father came there to see me one day, and there was a little boy who ran out to him calling him by his name. And I'm like, how do you know this child? And he was like, it's one of my friend's child. When I checked it out, it was that very girl's child, which is not, which he's not the father for, but it was that same girl child that I was teaching in that school.
Mm.
Yes. And you know, it went on and he kept on coming back and forth. So I never saw her before. And from that day when that happened at the school gate, I never saw her again. But she was just bent and determined that she was gonna give me what I was looking for her man. That is exactly what it was. So I decided that, you know what, first of all, that's not my type of life. I don't like those things. I'm not a person who go around and war with man, a woman about, I hate those stories and I hate those things. So that was unlike me. So anyway, I decided that, you know what, I don't want you back in my house. So it went on, it went on, it went on. It went on until my son was like 2 years old. So when my son was two, and we were still friends up until then. So when my son was like 2 years old now, I decided that I wanted to go to college because, you know, he had grown up a little bit more and my grandmother was home. So I was going to ask her to, you know, take care of him for me. So I decided I was going to go to college. I got accepted. I did my everything that I was supposed to do and I got accepted into college. So before I got to college, he kept on coming and I kept on telling him, I don't want you at my house. So normally college begins like in August. So that August, one night I went to do my hair because I was gonna be in college like, you know, in 2, 3 days. There was just this excitement because I'm the first person out of my immediate family to walk through a college door, a college gate. So that was like, you know, very, very overwhelming. And I was gonna board. So, you know, I was gonna board on college. So it was like it was bittersweet because then I'm leaving my son and, you know, for the entire week and all of that.
So when you
But
tell him,
anyway, that night when I went,
sorry, when you tell him, say, you know, you are trying to, well, when it's at the point where you say you are trying to stop him from coming your yard and thing, was it because of the ice pick incident or there was
oh
other
yes,
scenarios
oh
that happened?
yes, it was because of the ice pick thing. And then, you know, even as I was telling you, like during my pregnancy, he used to be with other women who, you know, he would like pass me on the street and be carrying them and stuff. But that was even long past. And then I had my son and I think he was doing better. But that ice pick incident told me that he was never going to stop and I do not want him back. I just don't want to have a relationship with him after that.
And
All
at
right,
that,
go.
and at that
So,
point, you're only right because your life at risk right there if woman are come after you with ice pick
oh
and thing.
yes.
So you're only right. But continue.
Oh yes, can you imagine if I was like walking in Spanish Town or somewhere around there and this lady just attacked me and disappear? Oh come on. So I decided this ain't gonna work. So you know, my men they're determined and I keep on telling him, I don't want you there. He would make it his point of duty to make sure that almost every evening he's at my house. And I make it my point of duty every evening to not talk to him. Sometimes he sits on my veranda, he talks to my grandmother talks to him, but he's not talking to me because I'm not answering him. So anyway, that night when I went to do my hair, I went to do my hair at my cousin's house. And we were there the night and she was braiding my hair because I was going to go to college. And, you know, we were there talking. We were outside in the back of the yard and we were there talking. And then this young guy came on. So this guy, very tall, handsome guy. And he lives around in the same community, but I don't really know him. I didn't really know him much. So anyway, he came there and my cousin introduced him to me because they were very good friends. And so we started talking and he came there. He was a little bit upset that night, I think, because he was telling my cousin that he broke up with his girlfriend. And, you know, when I checked it out, his girlfriend was a schoolgirl after, you know, so we talked the night and we exchanged numbers and we started talking. I was like saying to him, I don't know, because I'm going to college and I don't know how this is going to work. But anyway, we exchanged numbers, we talked. So what he started doing now was when I'm coming home on Fridays, he started picking me up and dropping me home. I felt so good because on Friday evenings, I would come and see my baby father sitting on the veranda. So I'm like, okay, you know what? You see your next man, you won't be coming here again. So anyway, he even saw him like probably about 2 Fridays and he was still coming until I guess he decided that, you know what, I'm not going to bother with this anymore. But the thing about it still, he remained my friend just the same because of my son, you know, he still remained my friend and we still had good conversations. So anyway, this man and I, we became friends and we were going on. He was an electrician working with his uncle. It so happened that we got involved and I got pregnant. and I'm in college. Now, this is a whole headache because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I wanted all my life. This is what I wanted all my life. No, I get what I want, and this is what's happening. So anyway, I decided that I went to college. I remember I spoke with my dean. When I spoke with my dean, she told me, she says, it's either you're going to, because I went to a Catholic college. So their policy is, it's either you're going to get married or you're going to sit the year out, have your baby, and then come back. So I don't really know, we had a conversation and we were trying to make decisions. I think he spoke to his mom, and she had the idea that, you know what, you guys better get married because I don't really want to stop her from college and whatever it was. The worst thing to do is start something or start a career and then you have to stop. So anyway, I went on and I was pregnant throughout college for that year, and I went on. I lived on campus. I remember living on the 3rd floor, and my classmates, they helped me so much. So anyway, I took my baby. I had my baby. I carried my baby for 9 months. I had my baby. She was a girl. After I had her, I realized I had her like today, and I got out of the hospital like tomorrow, and the next day I was in college doing my exams. So I remember he drove me to college. He sat outside with the baby in the car, and I went to do my exams, and then he took me back home. So anyway, I realized though that the baby was sick. The baby was not, was just not acting normal. So one day I took the baby to the hospital. They told me nothing was wrong with her. She's okay. I said, I need a second opinion. I took her to a private doctor. They said nothing was wrong with her. So anyway, one day I had to go to do an exam, and I left the baby with his mom. His mom, when I got home, she said to me, I took the baby to the hospital, and I told them that they have to admit the baby. So the baby was there at the hospital, and she lived for 1 month. So she died after 1 month, she died. I always hear them saying that the fastest time to get pregnant is just after you have a baby. Like 6 months after I had that baby and she died, I got pregnant again. See, I was in college. I'm still in college, and I got pregnant again. I remember going to my dean and saying to her, I'm not going to stay. I won't stay in college. I'm going to sit out. I don't want the embarrassment. And I remember she saying to me, you know what? There's no embarrassment here. So I think you should stay in college too. So anyway, I stayed. I sticked it out in college. I had my baby. During all that time, though, after we got married, I remember we were living at his grandmother's house. So we were living at his grandmother's house. We had our own little section at the back. But I'm telling you, throughout that time, even though I was pregnant, he was going on with some stuff. So it so happened that I had my daughter. After I had my daughter, that was my 2nd year in college. So I only had 1 more year left in college, which was my 3rd year. So I decided that I'm going to sit out with her for that year and get a chance to bond, because my dean even advised me to do that. She was like, this is what we preach, so we would like you to practice it. Sit out with her, bond with her for a year, and then you come back. Now, I always wanted a daughter. So having a little girl was like a part of my life. Although I had my son before, and I love him very much. So anyway, it so happened that during that time, I was sitting out with my daughter. I stayed home, and I was doing a lot of different little things to go back to college for the year. I raised chickens and sell them to put on my school fees and stuff like that, because that was 3rd year. That was teaching practice year. So you're going to need a little bit more money. And I remember sometimes the chickens go missing. I'm like, what's going on? So I remember one afternoon, this school girl came to my gate, and she was like, she's asking me if I have a calculator I could lend her. So anyway, I know this is a girl from up the top of the hill. So I'm like, okay, I got a calculator. I can lend you. That's fine. So I went into the house and I got the calculator. I gave it to her. It so happened that very evening, that very afternoon, he disappeared. After the little girl came, got the calculator, he disappeared. But I was hearing a lot of little things that he was friends with a little girl up on top of the hill. And, and I really I believe because before all of that, I remember coming in. And while I was coming in one night, I heard him on the phone talking to this person on the phone, telling them he wants the same position that they gave him the last time. All those are the stuff. So I'm like, this man is crazy. So anyway, and when I approached him with it, he swore on his mother's grave, nothing goes like that, because that's how some men are. I can tell you that's how they are. So anyway, he was still doing his electrician work, and we were there going on. So that very afternoon, he disappeared from the house. So he walked up the road, and I'm like, no, I need to figure out what's going on. So what I did was that I remember I left the baby with his grandma, and I walked up the hill behind him. I'm sure he didn't see me coming anyway. He didn't know I was coming, because I knew exactly. I didn't even have to go immediately behind him, because I knew exactly where he was going. So anyway, I know that he went into the yard. I saw him going in.
Where you say, my go for that same position where she gave him last time?
Yeah, maybe. So, so I remember seeing him going in the yard. So I walked up. I crept up there, and I stood by the gate for a little while. I wanted him to go in and settle in. So I stood by the gate for a little while. And when I walked, I opened the gate and I went inside. When I went into the yard and I went by the window, it's those houses where it's like on a hill. So what happened is that a part of the house is so high, and like the other part of it, the windows are low over on the other side. So I could just go by the window, stand up, and look straight in the house and see everything that was going on. And I can tell you, when I went there and I looked through that window, he was really going on with that little schoolgirl. So anyway, I came out of the yard and I went home, and I remember I told his grandma and I told his aunt. And when I approached him, he said it's a lie.
So you see him at the house, and you're not confronting him at the house, you just left?
Nope, I'm not confronting him at the house. Nope, I'm not confronting him there. I'm not this person for confrontations. To be honest with you, I just don't like confrontations. I'm not the confrontation type of person.
See even Gary,
and I will not do it.
Gary in the comment section, I say, boy, I call you good. Because most women would want him to say, yo, me see you.
No, I'm not doing it. I will prefer come and tell you after, but I'm not confronting you. I hate confrontations. So anyway, I remember I told them, and I remember when he denied it. He denied it. But anyway, the same mother for that child, I went to her and she said to me, she said, but you're just his baby mother. I said, what do you mean? I said, I'm his wife. I live with him. She said to me, she said, no, you don't. I said, so where do you see me going and coming all the time? She said, well, he told them that whenever they see me passing by the yard, I am taking his baby to look for him. I don't live with him, and we don't live together. So anyway, well, I said to her, I said, well, very much so we live together. We are married, and we do live together. So anyway, my daughter became one, and I went back to college. Oh my gosh, these men, I tell you. So now he decides that, hey, he wanted to go into the police force. So I'm like, good idea, And he was like, oh, you're a teacher, I'm a police. Oh, that sounds good. I'm like, that's a good idea. So I remember him.
You move a little bit too fast, because me and the viewers want to get a better understanding. So you catch him in an action with the little schoolgirl, as you said. You never confront him on the spot, but when him come home, you ask him about it and him deny it. So
him
deny it, and you forgive him and continue the relationship, is what you tell me?
Deny it and I leave him alone. Not say anything else to him, and the relationship went on. Because remember, the relationship went on. Me and him married. We lived together. So the relationship went on. Right? Mm-hmm. So it and even before that, I remember this man is so cunning that he went out one night, and after he went out the night he went out, he went and he took. The night he went out and took. Sorry, I got.
No worry yourself. Here we reached the 30-minute mark already. So take a water break, but you sound a little bit distracted. You're in the comment section, right?
Yes, no. I was looking at my son.
Okay.
That's why I got distracted. Sorry.
Take a minute and go tend to your son while I pay the credits. All right.
Yes, all right.
All right,
Thanks.
so Unstoppable family, me know it will reach 30 minutes within the show already. That's how it go when we're having fun, time flies. All right, but welcome to everybody who is here tonight. Whether you are new to the platform or not, welcome. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, make sure that you share out the show if you're not share it already. Or if you share it already, share it again. If you have not clicked the like button yet, share it right. Click the like button right now. That is appreciated. While I giving the call our water break, let me say thank you to Marissa for sending in a super chat contribution. Lurleen also sent in a super chat contribution. Thank you so much. Camille sent in a Cash App contribution. That is appreciated. And Terry also sent in a Cash App contribution. Tony sent in a PayPal. Big up yourself, my general. Thank you so much for that PayPal contribution. That is much appreciated. Family, if you would like to contribute to the program, we have ZELLE, Cash App, and also PayPal available if you would like to contribute to the show. Now, the sponsor for tonight's program, of course, we have to definitely pay the credit. Family, now I'm sure someone will hear a few of these phrases at some point. It's all in your head. We can make the pain go away. Here, just take this pill. Or just watch it for a little while, man. Maybe we stop. But guess what? If you don't want guesswork, if buts are maybes, then McLaren's Age Reversing Wellness Center should be your next stop. State-of-the-art equipment to make it easier for you to get the answers you seek. Them assess the problem and provide results the same day. Family, you need to schedule your appointment if you want to get the answers. 914-278-9394. Or you can visit the website mclarenswellness.com. Check it out. Now, I keep on telling you about Slam IPTV services, right? The reason why I can talk about Slam IPTV so much is because it is a service that I am personally using. And when I tell you, I have no issues, I not have no issues at all. I am getting television stations from all around the world. And the good thing about Slam IPTV is you can even personalize it and tell them, listen, Slam, I want these channels, that channels from this country, channels from that country, and Slam IPTV will give you those channels. We are talking about news channels, movie channels, premium channels, all HD channels we're talking about right here. Alright, I'm here talking about if you're a foreigner, you want to watch some Jamaican channels or any channels from the Caribbean, Slam IPTV is the service that can provide it. So now you can reach out to them at 647-858-4337 and you can WhatsApp them to or call them straight. You can reach them on Instagram and Facebook at slam_IPTV. Alright, that right there is how you can contact Slam right there. Alright, and the next sponsor for tonight's show is none other than Chrissy's Jerk Sauce. Now people may tell you, so when time I did try out Chrissy's Jerk Sauce the first time, people may have to lick me 10 finger them because Chrissy's Jerk Sauce just tasted so great, awesome, and it's authentically made by a Jamaican. Mean say it's all Jamaican. You understand what I say? Now Chrissy has hot and she have the mild one. For the people who can't take it too hot and spicy, yeah man, Chrissy have the mild one as well. You can reach out to Chrissy at 317-798-6131 or you can check them out on the website at www.chriskitchengadget.com. Alright, and when you call, you can mention the name Unstoppable and get a discount too. People, believe me, you no need to check out Chrissy's Jerk Sauce. Alright, yeah man, those are the sponsors for tonight's show. Now let's get right back to the show. All right, family, let's get into it. We have to take that quick break and make sure so we deal with that. Now we're going to get the guest right back to the program. Now, if you haven't hit the like button yet, as I said, make sure to hit that like button right now and share out the program. Facebook crew, share it to every single group that you can share it to. Share it to your profile and your page as well. Attitude, thank you so much for that super chat contribution. It is appreciated. Carla, you ready for me again?
I'm still here.
All right, talk again because the audio sound kind of low a while ago. Say something we hear you.
You hear me better?
All right, there you go. All right, so pick up, continue, because we want to get people. Let me tell you, no, fam, no. Yeah. This is where she's getting into the even hotter part. No, if you don't think the first part did hot, wait till she tell you no what go on, right? Yes or no? Go on, talk to them there.
Okay, so it's before he did all of that, I can remember that man went away one night, and when he went away, I'm not a person. I don't search phones. So when he came back the night, I noticed he was so different. So I'm like, no man, I want to get in the phone and see what's going on. It's when I take up the man's phone, the man hide the chip. Him take out the chip out the phone and hide the phone. That is to show you how devious the man is. So anyway, after all of that and all of that go on, and my daughter is growing up, I'm going back to college. He decided that he wanted to become a police. So I'm like, okay, yes, sounds good, And it so happened that he went to training school. I remember when he was in training school, I was living out in that area at that time, because at that time, we had moved over we moved into Spanish Town, close to where my aunt was living. And I remember that night when he was going to training school, I was living there. There are times when he wanted food, and I remember walking to take his food to him. Sometimes I don't even have taxi fare, and whatever taxi, I walk carrying food out there. Sometimes I have the taxi fare, and he wanted polish to clean his shoes, and I bought the polish and take to him and walk. So anyway, I remember I had a friend though, and she said she realized that something was going on. She was in college with me too, but she didn't say anything to me at the point until way after she said something to me. So anyway, this man was in training school, and I was in college, and we're there trying. So anyway, I finished, and he was still in training school, and I remember we decided that after training school, you know what, we're just going to rent somewhere and live. So he got out of training school, we rent somewhere, and we live together. Now, remember, me and this man married, we have a child, plus I have my older son. All right. So what happened, my son is 22 years old now. So you must know it's been a good time. So we moved and we live together. We rent somewhere now and we live. He became a police, he didn't drive. So because he didn't drive now, it was like he sometimes borrowed his aunt's car to take him to work. And then he took it back. So we decided, you know what? You can't do that because you're a police. You can't travel by public transportation. You can't be walking with gun and all these things. So we decided that he's going to buy a car. The man went and he went to buy the car. When he went to take the car out, I remember they told him like he had to pay on something like about $80,000, and he didn't have all of it. So I remember I had $20,000 and I gave it to him, and he went and he paid on the car. So from the man get the car, the man no remember when he live. When night come, him can't find home anymore. Him get blind. Him no remember where him live totally. So anyway, I remember he kept on doing it, and I just keep on just being there like a little fool and not saying anything. And he's working, and I'm just accepting the fact that, oh, he's working and he's doing this and he's doing that and all the crap.
But
so anyway,
when you say no remember when he live, you mean him not come home at night time?
Yeah, I'm saying he doesn't remember where he live because he's not coming home. From him get the car, him stop come home. You don't remember the how to travel from where him work to get home. You don't remember.
You not ask him as a wife, well, were you there at night time, why you not come home?
Oh yes, but that's what I'm saying. He's telling me that he's working. He's always working. So it reached the point where he had an accident a couple of years ago, and I think he did not report it to the insurance company when he went to get the car insured. So when the insurance company found out about it, they took the insurance, and when they took the insurance, where he got the car, he had to take it back because they're not going to have you with a car that you're paying for and it doesn't have insurance on it. So anyway, I remember calling him from work one day, calling him, and he wouldn't answer me. So where I work in a school, and there was another teacher there who knew him very well. They were very close friends. So the fact that he wouldn't answer me, I went to her and I said to her, I said, can you give me a call and let me call him? When I called him with her phone, he answered the phone. So I said to him, I said, wow, I've been calling you and you won't pick up my call. But as I use this person's phone and call you, you pick up the call. What's going on? He said to me that he don't want to talk to me. By the time I got home the evening and I picked up my phone, I saw a text message on my phone saying, this is a text message I will never forget. The text message said, I don't love you. I have never loved you. All my life, I have been living a lie and now it's haunting me. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I'm sure I don't do anything wrong to this man. So what's really going on?
And that after
Anyway,
how many years of marriage now you get that text message?
that was like, this was now 5 years into our marriage. This was 5 years into our marriage. This was 2007 and we got married in 2002. So this was like 5 years into our marriage. So anyway, I said to I didn't respond. I didn't respond because I just didn't know what to respond to say to him. But I could just remember me stumbling out of the house, you know, just don't know what to say, don't know what to do, wondering what's going on, and all of those little things. And I remember him coming, he didn't come home that night. I think he didn't come home for probably about 2 to 3 nights after that text message. And then one evening when I went home and I saw his stuff packed. His stuff were not in the house. He took them out. I remember even he had a drawer, you know, like police officers, they would take away knives and stuff from guys, and they took the knives, and although he had a drawer in there almost full with ratchet knives, and he threw them in the back and light a fire. When I got home, the fire was not even dead. But I remember before that, you know, one night he came home and he grabbed me by my throat and he said to me, if I ever hear that you giving me bun, me kill you. And he showed me how he was going to kill me. And he said to me when he did it, he said, nobody will know who killed you because I am a police and I know what to do. I remember him saying that to me. You know, that kind of had me scared for a little while, but I didn't really take it as anything anyway. So anyway, this man, you know, kept on going on with his stuff. It so happened that after he moved out, he kept on coming back to my house every night. This guy kept on coming to my house. Remember, you know, you don't live there. You moved out, but you're coming to my house, and every time you come there, he's fighting me for sex. I'm like, you must be crazy. One day I remember looking at him and saying to him, man, you keep on doing this. If I have what you like so much, why did you leave? So I remember one night I told him to stop and he wouldn't stop. So one night he came there and he took his gun out of his pocket and he put it down. But before he did that, a night before that he came and I'm like, I'm going to wake the kids up. I'm going to scream and wake the kids up. And he go like, oh, you wake them up? I'm going to do it right in front of them too. And I remember looking at it, I said, I didn't know you were so nasty. And the next night he came and he put his gun down on the dresser. And I remember taking that gun up and walking him to the grill. And I said to him, I said, let me tell you something. You teach me how to use this, and I swear tonight I will shoot you. Get out of my house. The night he got out of the house and I closed the grill, he came back another night again after that. And I decided that he needed to leave. And he walked out of the house and he left my grill open. When he left my grill open that night, the next day I went to his mother's house because he was at his mother's house. I walked to her house before I got to work the morning. And I said to her, I said to him, do not come back to my house. His mother was there, and same time she said, I don't want no knives in my house. I don't want no knives in my house. I said, well, you don't want any knives in your house? Tell your son, do not come back to my house. She was the first person to jump up and tell me that her son was not at my house. I said, what do you mean your son was not at my house? She said, yes, he was not there. I said, well, I am telling you that he was there and I don't want him back there. And you see, by the time he heard his mom saying that he was not there, he started to tell her, oh, I am lying. I'm telling lies on him. He was not at my house and you name it. And believe me, these mothers, Lord, help them. And what he started doing now, he started coming, parking his car at the mother's house, taking the brother's car, driving to the house. But what happened now was that I changed the lock on the grill. So now he can't come back in the house. So he would park all even down the road and calling me, telling me I must come out the road and come and stay with him in his car. So I'm like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
But
he went on.
See, the people in the comment section are asked the same question when me I think. Now, him see him one saying did I live a lie and him not love you. So why keep on coming here and attack you?
Yes, come into my house. So guess what he did now? The very teacher at my school was the person, now he has a girlfriend who works in the bank. The teacher who was at my school, apparently she is the one who introduced him to that girl. I am telling you, ladies, we must be very careful of the things that we do. That girl would leave her workplace and drive that car and come on the school compound almost every day to let me see her. The car with my money in her. Almost every day she come down there just to let me see her because she had to come see her friend. It got so bad that my principal had to go to the school gate and tell the security guards, do not let them back on the school compound. That's how bad it got. That's how bad it got. Because when I checked it out, that girl and some of the teachers were friends. She and some of the people working in the canteen were friends. That's how bad it got. So it went on and went on. So till one day I got a phone call. He called me and he said, when I picked up the phone, it was his phone calling me. And then it was his girlfriend on the line telling me, oh, I'm just calling to tell you that you're no more Mrs. So-and-so. I said, thank you. Thank you. And about 2 days after that, she came to announce her engagement at my workplace. At my workplace. That I had to see. She had to let me see everything that was going on. It so happened that she did all of that and they got married, and she used to tell me, I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to do that and I don't know how to do what. So anyway, within that period of time, I decided that I was going to go back to college and do my bachelor's. While I was going to college, I used to take my daughter with me. I used to send my son home to my mom, and I used to take my daughter with me in the afternoons to school. My friends used to laugh and tell me that my daughter had her bachelor's already because she was there sitting with me almost every night. It so happened that sometimes I would come if it rained or she fall asleep on me, and I would ask him if he could come and take me home with her, and he'd tell me point blank out loud, no, I can't take you. Sometimes he was even same place there in Spanish Town, and he would tell me, no, I'm not taking you. I can't take you. And that was his child. He's not doing it for me. I didn't want him to do it for me. I wanted him to do it for his child. And he went on and he went on and he went on. And I remember he would normally give me her money. And all of a sudden, he stopped giving me money for her. Strangest thing was, my account was in the same bank where that girl works. And I remember one year when Ministry of Education gave us some retroactive, and from that very day, that money went into my account. I never got $1 more from that guy. And then somebody said to me, why don't you take him to court? And I'm like, I don't have time for that. But I really did go to the court's office, took a summons out for him, and say I'm going to put him on child support. You know what they said to me when I did it? The lady at the court's office said to me, lady, is a police officer this? I said, yes. She said, no bother with it because it now reach nowhere. That's what the lady said to me. She said, no bother with it, it now reach nowhere. And I took the paper and I ripped it up and I threw it away. It so happened that about a year and a half, going into 2 years after we separated, I got into another relationship. So this time I tell myself, I don't want a little young boy. I want a big man.
No, but hold on there.
Happened.
Something just come to me a while ago. You say him and the other girl get married?
Oh yes, him and the other girl from the band get married.
But did you get a divorce? Because I never see your husband. Did you
but look. Oh, yeah. Before that, listen to what he did. You know, they have this gazette in Jamaica where they put your name in the paper. He took my name and he put it into the paper. You know what the teacher there did? She knew what he was going to do because they're friends, and he told her. So what she did was go and make sure she got out of school in the morning and went and buy the paper. And she walked on the school compound and she showed it to everybody she could logically think would smile with her about it. She showed it to everybody. And I turned and I said to him, I said, you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to put my name in the paper. Reason being, you know that I'm a very independent person. I don't need anything from you. So anyway, after I realized about this divorce, what he did, he gave his little 11-year-old brother the divorce papers to hand to me. So I took the divorce papers and I read where the divorce was done, the date when it was done. So I called the lawyer. And I said to him, I said, I'm just calling because, you know, I received a divorce paper that I didn't know anything about. So I would love to know what was the procedure. The lawyer said to me, he said, the procedure was final. You got a paper to sign and it came back with your signature. I'm like, no, I did not sign a paper. Nothing came back with my signature. I was never served a paper. I was never given a paper. And the man knows exactly where I live. I have not moved from my address. He turned and he said to me, he said, well, you know what? This is a legal matter and you can take him to court. You can sue him for it. I'm like, sir, I don't have time for it. The only thing I wanted to figure out was what went down with this divorce, if I was divorced or not. That's the only thing I wanted to know. I don't have time for this man. You know, sometimes it is really better if we just leave people and let them fall on their own swords, because karma will surely take them. Karma will surely take them. You know, even until this day, this man has been plaguing my life. This man has been plaguing my life. I left Jamaica and I came to America a few years after, couple years after we split. He left me when my daughter was 3 years old. I kept that child all this time. When that child, he never took that child from me. I had her all these years. It so happened that I left Jamaica. I left my daughter with his mom. I didn't even leave her with my mom because I didn't want him to go attack my mom about that little girl. And I left her with his mom. And he took that little girl from his mom and he did all what he wanted to do with her. And he went on and went on until one day he called me and he told me that I should take her and don't send her back to Jamaica, because this time he was charged with murder as a police officer. He was caught up in a case where they killed this guy, Robert Hill, and he was caught up in the case. And he was charged for murder. And so he thought they were going to retaliate on him. So he told me to take my daughter, and I took her. After I took my daughter, he came to America about a year after that. About a year after he came here to make my life a living hell. Unstoppable, I can't even start giving you that story now. But he came to America to make my life a living hell. That story is one you need to hear, but I can't even start that story tonight.
We have to left that one there for part 2 because we don't reach an hour already, you know, believe it. We reach an hour already. So it's so like we have to go do a part 2 of Unstoppable Family, because as you hear, it goes on. May I go on the phone lines now anyhow if anybody wants to say something pertaining to this one right here. Because as you say, as on the year, this one right here, so it's truly a saga. 754-317-5747. What do you have to say about what the guest shared tonight? WhatsApp only, don't forget. No caller. You have something playing in the background?
Oh, sorry.
All right. So
yes, I'm out of it.
No, you say he is presently where you are in the US.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Are you in fear of this person presently? Because more often.
No, I'm not in fear of him. Trust me. If he didn't do me anything all the time.
See, the reason why I ask you that question, you know, is because of the threat that he made when we did together, right?
When we were
right.
Yeah, but he can't make that type of threat to me again. Because we are no longer together, so he can't make that type of threat to me again. You know? He can't make that type of threat to me again.
All right, so I have the first caller of the night. Let's accept this caller. All right, caller, you're live. Good night.
Unstoppable, good night. I'm not calling to say anything. I'm calling to say you were missing on Friday, you were missing on Monday, so please continue the show.
Listen, we are going to schedule the caller for part 2. Anyway.
We're not waiting until Friday.
Anyway, Kizzy, big up yourself. Much love. Carla, you know you're Kizzy. Anyways, yeah, you were about to say
I'm
something.
dying.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
No, it's like I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of him. And it's like this part of the story that you need to hear, it's going to be maybe very tearful to a lot of people, maybe even to me, but it is something that probably I need to say. Because the more I talk about it, is the better it makes me feel. And I hope when I do it on your platform, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel even better. Yeah.
And
that part of the story.
I do remember, viewers, she did actually say that to me when we first spoke. That's one of the things she said, that she wants to share this story so that it may help someone out there that needs to hear it and probably going through the same situation. She did mention that to me. All right, so I see someone calling the old show number. The call-in number is 754-317-5747. If you're the one calling that number that the guest is on presently, that is no longer the call-in number. The number is on the screen, 754-317-5747. Caller, listen. First of all, let me say this. I am glad that you got away from that situation. And in any relationship where threats coming in play, people telling you, then we kill you, then we do this, and it makes such a serious threat at that too. Him tell you, say, if him do it, nothing now come out and you're not going to find because him know how to do it as a police officer. That right there was a serious threat, And as I saw someone in the comment section mention when you said that part of your story earlier, the person said, and at that moment, run. I know you say you started to watch him more at that point and started to pay closer attention to him at that point. But at that point, that's when you should have started to try make your escape. You don't think so?
Yes, but you know what? You remember how prevalent things have become now, where men were killing women and all those things. It's like it wasn't so prevalent before, and it's like, and this is the thing, because we take things for granted a lot of the times. Things are really thrown in our faces, and we never saw them, and then we only see it when it happens, and this is one of the things that we as women need to avoid things happening. We see it and get out of it, see it and get out of it. It's like I get older, and the older I get is the wiser I get, and my eyes are open to a lot more things than what it used to be before, so that's just the reason.
All right, so me see, as Kizzy said, Kizzy called in and I tell me about, so because I was missing, and me don't know want to get this 2-night thing from tonight. Hold on, Carla, tonight is Wednesday night. Oh yes, sorry.
Yeah, tonight is Wednesday night.
I was missing Friday night and Monday night. My apologies. See them a call me out. Marissa, she done message me about you've been missing 2 nights. You need to continue the show tonight. And Princess Sherry ma call me out about the lady continue. Oh, no, leave me alone. The show is 1 hour long. All right, I'm going to schedule her for part 2. So if you don't want to hear the real part of what she wants to share, as you hear, she say it herself, and me say it. She said, this is the part right here that everybody needs to listen to. All right, so make sure that you are here for part 2. Let's accept this call. Carla, good night. We'll go on your live.
Good night, sir.
Good night, lesbian. We'll go on, my general.
Unstoppable, big up yourself, and big up to all of my ladies. Me have to big up the ladies them first, and then big up our listeners. Big up all of the men them. Cause we have a couple of good men that call in, Sean and Gary and a couple more guys and so. Yeah, man. I was offline for a couple of months, about 6-7 months. But I'm back. I'm back in style.
Welcome back, my brother.
I was over the other side.
Welcome.
I was over to England there. So.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So you listen to
So
the
me
caller
really-
tonight?
Yeah, man, I'm listening. I'm listening, but I just call in to say I'm back. Don't have much comment on that situation. And it, to be honest, but me just call for big up everybody and make you guys know that I'm back.
All right,
I'm
my
back
brother.
on.
All right, my brother. Let's say
Yeah,
all
man.
right.
I wasn't
Blessings.
feeling well for the past 2 weeks from I came back. I wasn't feeling well. I was in the hospital and everything for a bad pain, but I'm good now.
All right, sorry
Yeah.
for hear that, but glad you're back, man. Big up yourself,
Yeah, man.
lesbian. Respect.
Yes, man. Every time, I'm big up everybody. Big up everybody. Cause you know me respect everybody, but the ladies, them and babies, girls and old ladies, everybody. That's me.
All right, my brother.
So I'm still listening. Honestly, Carla, big up yourself and thing, but I have nothing much to say because for a long time, never big up my people. Them, 'cause a long time they don't hear my voice, you know.
All right, lesbian. Big up
All right,
yourself.
All right.
Yeah, boy. All right. Sean, what go on, brother? Talk to me.
Bless up.
Blessings.
We get a little piece side still,
Speak
but-
up a little bit louder, Sean. You sound really low.
You hear me now?
Much better, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Make it a little piece side still, because I'm just reaching, but I've gotten enough where I can say, boy, I can come with a comment. Well, Carla, you're one of the greatest things is that you got away with your life. Even though he's giving you problems now, you're still alive. And in our country where, and in Jamaica where you can cover up things that I feel like say things that go so a different kettle of fish over here. So you can go on, make problem and see what happened to him. So that's it. All right, bless up.
All right, Sean. Big up yourself, my brother.
Yes.
All right, Carla. So listen, we are eager to hear part 2. So I'm definitely going to schedule it for part 2 to call them. I come in now, you know. Me can't. Who know I'm going to you know. Gary, you're live. What go? Talk to me, brother.
Good night. Carla, man, tell her, you're real. I love your spirit. I will know what it's for the part 2. But boy, one thing I tell you, say you're strong. You're a strong lady. And I must commend you to, you know, how you hustle to go back to school, you know, you grow your chicken. But boy, I mean, we want to know the part about the calculation, or the girl come buy the calculator. What she come buy it for? And also, when you, I not understand how you see the money in action and you know, you not even have a couple big stones when I know, but yo, I can bet every woman with the pan that I know see them the window would have mash up, everything would have mash up.
No, but Gary, as she said, she's not one for confrontation still. She said she not really like a confrontation thing.
As me tell her, say she's strong because
but
her,
Gary, what are there? There is a but, you know. Hear why me say there is a but. And Carla, listen why me say. You remember when I asked you, you see him in action, but you not confront him. See, Gary, this is why me asked her that, you know. You see, when she catch him in action was the time when she should have confront him, because she should have know say him a go deny it when him come home. You understand?
The man turn shaggy. Yeah,
man. You see,
so
Carla, you should have confront him right then and there and say, all right then, and see if him would have really bold face light you and say,
yeah,
me never ever do nothing.
No, but me telling her and stuff, boy. Me can't call her name move but the line, but me know say put kiss in other situation there. When the mash up, everything mash up.
Ah, boy. See, but you know,
lesbian, big up yourself.
You know something though, Carla. Listen, at the end of the day, as Sean say, you walk out of it with your life, and that's the most important part of this thing.
Yeah, man, she move smart, you know, she humble herself, move smart. Now she in the United States, you are more in a better place. Him can't play with the old man want to play with it right now. Yes, him go come with some things, yes, but him, you know, now you have him like a rap, like a rap a tape around a finger. Because in a certain things, the only thing him can do, him can come at a certain way with, you know, he's just like that one movement and whatever happen. You know, but put him in put the law in the whole entire situation. Him not ramp with it.
Well, we have to go. We have to go wait and find out what go get out. What go come out of part 2 in a Gary. We don't really know what go on yet.
But you know what? A lot of women need to take a page out of her book how humble she keep herself and get herself out of the situation. She not just sit down in it and sit down in it and sit down in it. She take her time and pull herself. That's why I'm give her a thumbs up, her strength, She really do well there, right here, you know what I mean? So Carla, bless up yourself and looking forward for part 2 on Friday.
All right, Gary, big up yourself, my brother.
All right.
All right, Carla, listen, the people in my weird part 2. I know they want it tonight, but we're not give them tonight. All right. Much love to you. Thank you so much for sharing. And you and I will speak off here. The part 2, remember, make sure telling her from now, her part 2 will not be Friday night. So on the door, come at me. All right. I will announce when her part 2 will be. All right, Carla. Have a blessed night. Hold on, we have one more call. Remember take the last call, yeah, and then that is it. After this last call, I'm closing off the phone lines and more. Carla, come in. Carla, you're live.
Hello, good night.
Humble lady, how are you?
Am I all right? And how are you doing?
I am blessed. Thank you. It has been. What's your take on tonight's topic?
Okay, you know what? This lady, I think she loves him so much that she didn't even want to leave from the first time.
Loves or loved? I think you should use loved as opposed to loves.
Loved.
Right.
Right. Loved. Yes. I think I would say she's in love with him so much. And what she should have done when she lost that child and there were problems starting in the relationship, she shouldn't have gone any further. Secondly, when she went to the house and saw them doing their thing, she should have taken some pictures, shout to him, make him aware that I see you. Him can't deny anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Unless him a shaggy.
Right. Because they're such a big liar, is like they are the person who make all the lies, so they know how to do it. You hear what him said to her? Him a police, and he can kill her, and nobody's gonna know.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I'm gonna refer to Donna Lee instance. Look at what happened. Don't trust them. Ladies out there, if you're with a policeman, be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Be very careful.
You have yourself a good night, lady. Try protect yourself against him in the US, okay?
Thank you.
Much love. Thank you for calling.
Have a good night.
All right, so that right there was the last call I'm taking, family. All right, we're going to leave the rest for her part 2. People, they might crucify me in the comment section because I said not Friday, They might crucify.
Oh my
me in the
God.
comment section. Her part 2 will be announced on Monday night's show. I will let you all know when her part 2 is. All right, that's that.
Okay.
I cannot change Monday night's guest. That one is locked in. All right. So I'm going to schedule her part 2, and I will let all I know when her part 2 is. Carla, thank you so much once again for sharing, and it's appreciated 100%. I will talk to you tomorrow, and let you know. Find out from you what works for you for your part 2. Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Much love.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, Unstoppable family. Good night, Carla. I had ended the call-ins, but talk to me. Wagwan, you're live. All right, Unstoppable family. We're at the end of the program right now. I saw, hold on, let me scroll up and find this message. Janice Riley, good night to you. Janice says, I have a, oh my Lord, my bad. Me just see it. Okay, moving right along. The number to contact me is 754-317-5747. If you have a story you'd like to share, all you have to do is send a WhatsApp message to that number right there, 754-317-5747. And all it has to say is, Unstoppable, I have a story I would like to share. Once you send that message to that number via WhatsApp, I will give you a call back. It's that easy. All right. So if you're watching and you have a story that you feel is powerful and can help someone, you can reach out. All right. Ansia, big up yourself. Glad to see you tonight. All right. Now, all of the newbies who's here tonight for the very first time, once again, I have to say, welcome to the platform. Welcome to the show. And if you are new here, we go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right. And I will now be active again for the Facebook crew. Trisha, ambitious lady, big up yourself over there on Facebook. All right, Facebook crew, I apologize. I know you haven't been seeing me for quite a while, but the show will be active again over there every single show night, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. All right, so make sure you say want to hit that follow button if this is your first time tuning into the show, so that you don't miss it. All right, and make sure to turn on all the notifications. Now, if you are here and you have not signed up as yet to get your badge, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, please consider signing up to become an official, all right, and get your badge attached to your name. All right, now if you have your badges, right now is the time for you to start marching out so that I can give you your shout out. Cooking Caribbean can talk some foolishness, man, about first time commenting. Officials, start marching out right now so that I can give you your shout out and then get out of here. All right, so we see the officials, them are march out already. Let's do it right now. All right, marching out so far, we got none other than Jen rocking a super VIP. All right, then we got none other than Marissa rocking her badge as well, and it's a golden VIP. All right, we got rolling out as well, none other than Trev Essence Unstoppable rocking her loyalty star. We got Stush Pumpkin reach loyalty star as well. Gary Logan is rocking a loyalty star badge as well. Then we got none other than, who else are rock them badge? Cindy B is rocking a extreme VIP. All right. We got none other than Lurleen Miller rocking a super VIP badge as well. All right. Kimmy is in the building rocking a loyalty star badge. Trevessence Unstoppable rocking a loyalty star badge. And by the way, everybody, right now, more every single person right now wish Trev Essence a happy birthday. Now, her birthday has passed, I think. But more everybody wish Trev a happy birthday right now. For all who never know, wish Trev a happy birthday right now in the comment section, please and thank you. I'm sure she would appreciate it. Yard Foods, good night. Navlet is rocking a golden VIP badge. All right, Candice Unstoppable rocking a loyalty star badge. Kizzy Unstoppable rocking a loyalty star badge as well. We got none other than Tracy and Edwards rocking a newcomer badge. All right, see it there. We say Stush Pumpkin already. All right, that right there seems to be all the officials who's marching out with them badge. If you have not gotten your badge as yet, please sign up and get your badge. Tappers, Araka badge, of course. Much love to you, Tappers. All right, with the Facebook crew there with them badge. Facebook crew, once you have your badge, you march out with the custom, with the flames. All right, so that we can give you your shout out. Family, we are going to get out of here for tonight, but Friday night for sure we will return with another unstoppable story. All right, make sure stay safe, and I will see you all on Friday. Blessings.
See the music, 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 move your waistline, move your shoulders, see the music, move your waistline, move your shoulders,
This music got me feeling like I'm way up high, sipping martinis and blue slushes with umbrellas up high. I like dancing, you like